Beautiful Thursday morning right here in the FCT. Welcome back to the Abuja studios. I hope you enjoyed the time there at our network studios from the news at 7 and then Sports Mix at 7:15 a.m. Well, it is 7:36 a.m. and it's time for us to look at what the dailies are saying. And I'm sure there are so much stories for us to look at this morning. My name is Chooks. Niceville is right here as well this morning. Niceville, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Good morning, Nigerians.
So we'll be starting off with the front page of the Standard Times. And also, before we get into that, you can currently join us via YouTube. We're currently streaming live as well on YouTube. Just search for Raypa Abuja. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. All right, so the Standard Times. Trump salutes Tinubu's anti-terrorism drives protection of Christian communities. Starts on the front page and continues on page 3. Lady Helen Obariki flags off Green Nigeria Challenge, urges LGAs to embrace tree planting. Starts on the front page, continues on page 15. NDIC begins payments to depositors of 46 failed FMBs, page 3. New cement factory, Ebonyi, China firms sign agreement on page 2. Reps seek FG's funding to boost local drone industry for national security, page 2. NNPCL increases fuel price for second time in 2 days, page 2. FAN unveils 2025 bylaws, page 3. Merrick kicks life imprisonment for terrorists, demands death penalty, page 2. Above the nameplate of the Standard Times, police arrest fake doctor over 500,000 naira job scam in Cross River, page 4. Father, 15-year-old daughter die after falling into canal well. Sad one there on page 4. That's the front page of the Standard Times.
All right, now to the Vanguard newspaper. It's up in the headlines. Dangote refinery resumes petrol loading in Naira at 1,215 Naira per litre. Well, you can read that story on page 20. Zenith Bank wins Africa's Best Bank, retains Nigeria's Top Banking Award. That story is on page 8. Nigeria drops to 90th in latest global passport ranking. Stories on page 5. Trump vows to stand with Nigeria in anti-terror war, applauds president's resolve to tackle nation's challenges. U.S. pledges to nullify jihadist threats in Nigeria, Somalia, Syria, and others. And drone strike kills over 20 ISWAP fighters. Chief photographer on Lake Chad. That story is on page 5. PFIPC scandal. Apologize, resign now. Atiku battles Tinubu. APC replies Atiku says service-wide vote, not slush fund. Stories on page 7. Igbo governors to fully support Tinubu in 2027, says Uzodinma. Stories on page 13. I am not a criminal. My life is in danger. Achimugu says that on page 9. Fubara declares membership of Wike's Rainbow Coalition. Stories on page 12. And that's about it on the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, now to the Daily Monitor. We have Trump lauds Tinubu over fight against terrorism, pledges support, says it is a true honor to stand with you in the fight against these. Well, you want to find out what words Donald Trump used to describe them. The Daily Monitor will tell you that Trump's letter to Tinubu, proof U.S.-Nigeria cooperation is yielding results. That's coming from the presidency. Starts on the front page and continues on page 2. Article to NAS, summon CBN governor, ICE police top payroll fraud list, page 2. Court stops EFCC from speculative investigation of Oyo finances, page 3. NDIC begins payments to depositors of 46 failed MFBs, page 3. We also have NARDC slashes textbook assessment ranking fees, page 3. MDAs for shunning finance committee's investigative hearings. Ones that continued non-compliance undermines legislative oversight, fiscal accountability. Starts on the front page, continues on page 2, and that is the front page of the Daily Monitor.
All right, moving to Daily Global, topping the headlines. Trump commends Tinubu over fight against terrorism, protection of Christians. NCC African regulators push stronger collaboration for smarter digital governance. Stories on page 5. Adamawa Police take sensitization campaign to government secondary school Dobeli. Stories on page 6. Governor Uzadin Mark commends NASENI as agency commission skills update. Stories on page 7. University of Ibadan 6. And finally, Enikolaye pledges more collaboration with NIDCOM, hails Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. That's it on Daily Global.
To the Daily Independent now, jollof rice, a 624% surge lays bare Nigeria structural food crisis. Starts on the front page and continues on page 29. And the Daily Independent had to just put jollof rice there. That's a dagger to my heart. All right, Fubara reconciles with Wike, endorses Chinda for governor. Interesting one there on page 7. NDIC begins payout to depositors of 46 failed MFBs, page 29. Rising output revives Nigeria's bid for 2.5 million barrels per day. Oil production starts on the front page and continues on page 29. INEC to court. Emeka Ike's published data not classified. Sensitive information, page 29. Oil price rises above $95 mark as Middle East conflict escalates, page 7. Above the nameplate of the Daily Independent, Trump praises Tinubu's counter-terrorism efforts, defense of Christians. Starts on the front page, continues on page 29, and that's the front page of the Daily Independent.
All right, now to the leadership newspaper. PFIPC scandal. NSA minister, others to appear before reps panel today. That story is on page 2. Indigenous firms dominate oil block winners as federal government targets $259 million signature bonuses. Stories on page 5. Father, daughter die in Kano after falling into dry well. Stories on page 6. That's a very sad news there. Reactions as Trump praises Tinubu's resolve to tackle terror, protect Christians. Again, topping the headlines. That's on page 3. Governor Sule sacks 6 commissioners. Stories on page 20. Troops kill a swap chief photographer. Others in Ford attack on military base. Stories on page 8. And finally, Minister Lord's Government Yusuf on education transformation. That's it on the leadership newspaper.
All right, now away from the leadership newspaper to the Guardian newspaper. 2027 presidential elections, INEC helpless as early campaigns flout electoral acts, fairness rules, page 6. Court finds poverty keeping Nigerian prisons congested, says NHRC, page 5. Presidency pegs yearly power investment deficits as $11 billion. That's on the Build a Business on page 15 there. Controversy Palace, 6, 7. World Day Against Trafficking. NACTIB says 100,000 trafficked in $64 billion scam, page 5. Payroll fraud, police top list. Nigeria's solar market hits $2.4 billion as Africa attracts $13.5 billion renewable energy investments, page 3. And Dangote returns to Naira sales, raises ex-depot price to 1,215 Naira, page 2. And that's the Guardian newspaper.
All right, now to the Naira budgeted for churches and constituency. Cadastro surpasses CBN's $51 billion reserve targets by $1 billion ahead of. Appeal courts upholds forfeiture of $293 million and $42 million in salaries fraudulently paid to 900 ghost workers. Police top list with 570 fake employees on federal payroll. One suspect allegedly listed wife, son, mother-in-law on the payroll. MDAs as commission tracks more suspects. That's whole story. You can read it on page 7. Police report cows. Stories on page 6. Cyber attacks threaten government. Presidency releases Trump's U.S. drug case campaign. Says I hails terrorism fight. That's it on the Whistler.
All right, so those are the papers for the morning. Standard Times, Daily Monitor, Daily Independent, Guardian newspaper,
Vanguard newspaper, Daily Global, Leadership, and finally the Whistler.
All right, so petrol on the front pages again. Prices have gone up twice now in a matter of 2 days. So that's a very sad one indeed.
I mean, it's supposed to be coming down, not
well, with
going
what
up.
we're having, $100 a barrel, in the here as well in Nigeria, even nation. I think one of the papers said Dangote has increased his depot price to 1,215. So
Yeah.
obviously now probably petrol will be sold at 1,300 plus. For
Let's
those
hope.
who are going to be stepping out today with their vehicles, the buses and all of that. So probably going to be getting a change to transportation costs once again. We just hope that the Middle East crisis, Strait of Hormuz and all stops very soon. Everybody can come to an agreement so that the whole world can breathe once again. But sadly, it's going to affect other things as well. Things are going to go up
Definitely.
again. Especially in Nigeria, they don't waste time.
Everything out there, no say fuel don't go up.
Yes.
No fuel.
They don't waste time.
Okay.
If they do it like at 5 p.m., I can bet you that at 5:30.
5:30 is far. 5:10. 5:10 a.m.
People have already started increasing prices of everything.
We have the police stopping the headlines again. I mean, like 2 days ago, we saw them about the whole extortion thing. And now they are here again on the front line with what's the news? They have like the top
All these ghost
top
workers.
ghost workers, yeah. Well, I mean, these people are supposed to be our friends, right? They're supposed to curb corruption, curb insecurity, but then they're topping the headline for the corruption.
It just shows the reform or turnaround that's needed in this country in every single department.
But that has to start
every
with like
single
you personally
area.
trying to
Like me, am I part of the corruption? Why you say?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know you're part
Why
of
did
the
you
corruption.
why did you put me on the spot? We're not talking about
Yeah, standing in front of me, so you're literally the
Did
only
you give me
person.
money that I collected? Without people knowing. Did you give me money for something? I
Let's not
collected?
spill our secrets. Go on.
There's no secret to spill.
Go ahead.
Anyways, for the police, I think that's a sad one.
Really
for
sad.
them to be topping the list.
Really
it's
sad.
it's a
Ghost
very sad
workers.
one, indeed. And then I think there needs to be investigations as well. These monies are obviously going to people. You're going to be
Somewhere,
paying
yeah.
salaries.
I mean, you saw
leave
what
allowances.
son, mother-in-law on the
So,
payroll. How does that happen?
Who are these people collecting these monies? You know what? This country amazes
Oh my
me.
God.
Like, how can somebody put their son their
and mother-in-law
to be
on the
collecting
bill?
salaries, allowances, and all of that, and they probably have never even stepped a foot in a police station? To even see. Let's not even talk about walking.
Yeah, I won't go into
to even
that.
see. What the in-premises of a police station looks like. I'm sure they've probably never even done that.
You're on the
in their
payroll.
entire
The whole
life.
corruption thing
So
is
it's just appalling and alarming. So these are the reforms we're talking about that needs to be done from top to bottom, even in the police as well. From the behavior of the police officers to this, funds being taken away, siphoned, and all of that. So all of this really needs. I mean, there are even police officers who are not.
who are not police officers.
Yeah, I mean,
There are police officers who are not police officers.
What's going on here? And then your officers are not even earning enough, and then you are padding your payroll with people
With
who are
people, your family members.
families, your friends, to be collecting money to probably give you a share of the money and all. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So the police absolutely needs to clean its house, and every other institution, organization, on this fraud list as well, needs to do a proper clean out of its house as well. Well, 600, the Daily Independent reads, a 624% surge lays bare Nigeria's structural food crisis. Once again, it's still alarming that, hunger is prevalent
abject poverty
in the country as well. And them putting jollof rice, because that's the main international meal. Everybody knows us for that. And even for the average Nigerian to not be able to cook a pot of jollof rice, comfortably.
Maybe make the
blood.
Exactly.
So for the average Nigerian and family not to be able to afford, to do that, look at the price of tomatoes,
pepper. Let's start with gas first of all.
Yes, gas.
Because you need it to cook. Even if there's no gas, charcoal.
Even the charcoal of the firewood, the prices are still going up that you need to, cook those things. So it's just a very sad one indeed that we're being priced out of affording good meals, meals that are balanced diet, let's just say it. People
the ones that we are managing.
Yeah, people have to do 010, the style that your budget can, cover up. I'm sure nice you have not had breakfast this morning.
Have you had breakfast?
It's just a question. Don't answer me. I've not had
breakfast. Have you had breakfast?
I've not had breakfast this morning.
I've not had breakfast this morning.
So Nasport is doing 010 or is it 011? Which one are you doing? All right. So it's very sad that we have such a situation. We need real economic changes. All those figures, numbers that we see, 3.something%.
I mean, most people do not even cook food with meat or fish anymore. I mean, if you just have right.
If you go to a restaurant, Seth,
people
don't even buy meat these days. They don't even buy eggs.
Just eat your rice and go.
Last time, my friends and I, went to restaurants to eat and have fun. All boiled egg, it was not 400 before. I was like,
what was inside there?
Boiled egg. I even selling boiled egg for as high as 1,000 naira.
No.
In some restaurants, I'm
that's
like,
not right.
So people just pack the rice.
Just pack the rice.
I saw a tweet. I think last week he went. So also I'm supposed to have pieces of meat
chicken.
So you're not asking, are you not buying meat? And I said, they are so rice.
Plenty chicken.
Rice like that. So it's very not for the I guess finally, for Rivers State, this one was a bit of a surprise for me this morning. Fubara reconciles with Wike, endorses Chinda for governor. Well, this bit of a surprise. I guess he's not going to be running for a second term. There'll be any more dramas that will come up. A whole lot of drama, the FCT minister and all of that. So, let's hope that this current peace deal that they have, will actually bring peace.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how to put it. Well, deploying. I mean, that's like
things. People actually commend you for those steps.
But what is the right thing again? What is the right thing? What is it?
As a government, you shouldn't be negotiating with terrorists. Be it, there have been accusations of that. Some governors paid. I mean, these guys will collect the monies, go and buy equipment, come back and terrorize us.
Even when they're apprehended, they tell you this thing that they're being funded from the government, like that.
Putting a stop to it. Things like the DSS trying to appeal that judgment and all of that to try and get the death penalty. So all of these things actually do.
Rehabilitation thing.
So it shows that you're being serious about. Says, okay, yes, you're doing well, so far so good. We need more, but we actually still need more from this government when it comes to the fight.
I mean, Trump is extending his hand to help. So let's shake that hand.
I mean, Donald Trump, he does love to help with that missile. This, I think it was. So he's waiting to just press another. Yes, we need another one. So he'll be ready to press the button.
He's always ready.
One. Well, copy of any. story. So Chelsea did confirm Morgan Rogers for 170 million pounds. Wow, that's a huge amount of money. So good luck to him. Alejandro Garnacho going the opposite way to Aston Villa on loan as well. So more deals being done when it comes to the transfer market. My name is Chooks.
And I am Nice Fourth. Have a lovely day ahead.
And it's Throwback Thursday. So here is Jason and Lil Wayne. This one is called Down.